You got to be asking yourself, does this motherfucker ever quit making videos? And the answer is no. No, I don't. I make so many videos. You should have seen the fucking schedule I gave out to my Discord today so they could have an idea of when all the videos are coming out that I do for them over there. And it was like, I don't know, the size of War and Peace. It was a long novel is what it was. And if you're wondering, I got the schedule for YouTube up right above my big dome right now. So if you want to know what we're doing, I got Monday Night Football. We'll have it out 10 a.m. every Monday. Tuesday, we'll do the week-long preview. Wednesday is the emergency stream for golf. Thursday, we do Thursday Night Football. It'll be out by 10 a.m. Friday, I do my college football show, which fuck me if I don't slaughter college football and nobody will play with me. Saturday is me and John doing our final thoughts for NFL football. And then Sunday, I do the live sweat during the early games where you can come watch with me. It's a good time. So there's the big schedule. If you don't know, new guy, I'm the Degenerate 75. I'm a high-limit DFS player, and I'm here to help you get better at DFS, specifically football and golf, because the shit be hard. If you don't mind, maybe drop a like and a sub, because you can't help but notice there's no ads on this video, because I'm not a fucking poor. With that said, give me a follow on Twitter also. My dude, John Gold JD, is on here, the brand himself, and we are going to be breaking down this really unique round 4 tilt tomorrow for Showdown. So, John, how you doing, brother? You've never been on a golf show with me.
I know. This is awesome. I'm honored. Thank you.
Yeah, this is, you know that you're entering best friend status when I let you on the fucking flagship of the station, the Showdown Hoedown. No one's ever been on here. He's taking the virginity of this show right now. All right, let's pop. Well, if we're going to do it, let's pop that cherry. Here we go. We have a unique format tomorrow. You were telling me before we started that this format is exactly like MMA, which I have, full disclosure, I've never played MMA DFS. Why? Tell me why this is just like MMA DFS.
Yeah, this is like the captain mode version of DFS. So it's like, or of MMA, I mean. So it's like MMA because you have a matchup where there's going to be a winner and a loser, and you obviously would never want to roster both sides of that matchup. So in playing tournaments, the goal here is to get 6 winners, with the highest scoring winner being your captain. So for the pay-per-view slates or the main slates for MMA, they'll offer this format for like the MMA or the pay-per-view portion of the fight. So they'll have the main card where you pick your 6 winners, but here you'll pick captain mode like they do for the pay-per-view. So it's pretty cool that they're doing it for golf, since we have 12 effectively. You can take them as fights, you can take them as matches, whatever. We have 12 matchups tomorrow with the Americans Internationals finishing out the President's Cup here in Charlotte. I'll be going. Super excited to watch again tomorrow. Still getting over my sunburn from today, but it's all good.
I don't know how you got a sunburn with that big fucking dome bucket hat you had on. You would
have
made
awesome.
Joel Dahman blush for that damn thing.
I got sensitive ears and shit. I got to keep them covered.
You do look kind of pasty. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, in MMA, isn't it true that like the guys who are big favorites tend to be mega chalk because it's almost like you can count on an ass whooping and those winning points, which are so important on just a small slate?
Yeah, so people usually gravitate towards safety of a huge favorite, and so I started to try to find odds because matchups just came out here for us. And DraftKings actually just put out odds, it looks like, for all of the matchups here.
I gotta imagine
so it looks like the
Chefler over Munoz is a probably pretty big one, right?
That initially was the biggest I saw, but then it looks like JT is the biggest. So JT over Siwoo Kim.
That was the other one that really stood out to me.
Yep, he's minus 200. Scotty Scheffler's minus 190. And then it looks like there's quite a few just mixes of minus 165. So Xander over Corey Connors.
Are any internationals favored?
Cam Young is almost a pick 'em with Sungjae, so no. No, Americans are favored in every match.
That is insane. Wait, Cam Young is favored over Sungjae M? Am I in a...
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I lied. That's the first one. Sungjae's favored over Cam Young.
I was going to say, Cam Young's a better golfer than Sungjae M? Like, I
No.
guess...
Sungjae's favored over Cam Young. That's the only international that's favored.
All right. So, in this captain spot, as always, there's a few rules we need to talk about. Like, I know this format's new.
Matchup.
But the two most important rules you got to remember right off the bat, even for like the most fucking layman, you got to understand that you want your captain to be the highest scoring guy on the slate. So if you think somebody's going to go out there and boat race the other guy, you got to make that guy your captain, no matter the salary, because you're probably going to need the guy with the most points in your captain spot, unless it's one of those really weird builds where you have all 6 winners and your captain was a really cheap guy that allowed you to get to 5 other guys that all smashed but weren't the nuts. Right, John?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think in terms of like my favorite preferred roster construction, I'm just going to try to put my favorite winner up top. And the reason we're saying the guy that smashes the most in this format, you score for holes 1, you score for winning the match, but you also score for holes not played.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you
those add up too. Like if you win like
you're
6 and
six
5
holes with 5 left, exactly, you get a ton of points there.
But it's huge bonus points. Plus, you've already been getting all kinds of winning holes on the way, and there's a chance you probably got a streak, and there's a chance you might not even lost a hole. You want that guy tomorrow.
Exactly. And so, like, guys that I think have a good chance to do that, in my opinion, or like Xander, I really like to do that. I think Xander's probably honestly my favorite, or JT honestly is a pretty good match out, just a boat race Siwoo Kim.
Right. So the other big rule that I think everybody has to follow is you cannot play 2 guys that play each other. That's fucking stupid. You need to go 6 for 6 on wins if you're serious about taking down this GPP, right? And when you play 2 guys that are playing each other, you, by definition, cannot have 6 wins.
Yeah, because even if they end up tying, you're not going to get enough points for a tie. I think you'll need 6 wins to take down this GPP. We'll talk about here, I'm sure, contest selection in a minute. But yeah, you'll need 6 wins to take one of these things down.
All right, one more game theory. It's obvious that America is favored in 11 of the 12 matches, so it's going to be very natural to probably want to build your card something like at least 4 Americans, 2 internationals, maybe even 5 and 1. How contrarian do you think you can get without seeing diminishing returns, right? Before you're just like playing so many long shots that you're almost being, too pivoty. You know what I'm saying? By playing the internationals. What's the right number? Is there a world where you could play 5 internationals and have a successful lineup, or are you just getting too cute? The chances of that hitting are so rare.
I mean, this tournament, the big field that we'll look at, I think it's a $10 or $15. It's got like I think it's 2,000 runners, 3,000 runners. So it's not like super, super huge. So I guess like a decent way to think about it is if you were going to parlay all these guys, and if I were to go to DK Sportsbook and I was just going to parlay 5 dogs at 140, what will that pay me? Like if I just went ahead and picked 5 random dogs, I can parlay that at plus 600. So I basically, because my thought here is like, does the GPP pay me more, or am I better off just firing off my 5 rando losers in a parlay? So if I parlay 5 like decent dogs here, I can put $10 to win $678 on DK. So I guess I'd probably rather fire off my 5 losers in the tournament.
I will say this. All of the international players, all 12 of them are under average salary, right? Average salary is $8,300. The highest international is Decky at $8,200. So that means if you do 5 of them, if you do that, basically you could probably put Scheffler at the captain, you'll still be fine, right?
Yeah, it makes construction a lot easier, and I don't really love Chefler as the captain.
I wouldn't either. I'm just saying you could afford anybody you want was the point I was trying to make.
Yep.
Yeah, you can get there for sure. Okay, so that's the question you got to ask. What is the actual score? It's 11-7, right? So the internationals would need to get what? So they'd have to get 8.5 points tomorrow, right? They'd have to get 8 wins and a draw to somehow steal this thing tomorrow. I got to say that's not very likely.
Do it with 5 wins and 7 ties.
Oh Jesus! We're not going to
do it with 6.
You can tell John's new to YouTube because he does not know good radio. We all understand there's other ways they can get there. We're walking through it in the simplest terms because we're not going to spend an hour talking about the 47 different mathematical ways this could end with them winning. It could also be 6 ties and 5 wins. No, stop. Okay. Let's go through these matches one by one. Let's say the ones we like. We keep the Showdown Hoedown under 20 minutes, and we're already at 9, so let's get to flying here. Chefler Munoz, you've already tipped your hand on this one a little bit and said you don't love Chefler. How come?
I mean, him and Burns just didn't play all that well this week. I mean, Chefler obviously is one of the best golfers in the world, but Sebastian's looked pretty good in this format. He sort of carried a couple of his partnerships, so I think it's actually like Munoz is probably a sneaky player that I'll be getting to on the international side.
Scheffler and Burns have both sucked balls this whole tournament. They've been bad, really bad, and there's no way I want to pay up for Scheffler. I will say the one appealing thing I can say about Scheffler is I think at that price tag he will be very, very lowly owned in the captain spot. That's the one.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I just think that's the one appealing feature I could give to you.
Yeah, I think that's right on him and the captain. I think he'll still get flex ownership. I think really what's going to drive ownership, since we won't have like any, I'm guessing, sites doing projections or anything like that for this format, is people will be looking at these odds, and then the biggest discrepancies, like the biggest favorites, will end up being highest owned. So Scheffler being one of the biggest favorites here, even though he is the most expensive golfer on this slate, I can see him still coming in pretty highly owned in the flex.
I agree with that. Yeah, the pricing, once you get to the flex, especially if you're not spending your money at captain on a high spot, you can still get any 2 or 3 golfers you want in your lineup. When you got those fucking $4,000 guys in the flex, gives you a lot of creativity.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's move on to the next one here. Cantlay and Scott.
Yeah, I like Cantlay quite a bit in that matchup.
Yeah, I do too. Go ahead and say why.
I mean, Adam Scott is fine and all, and he's like played this format more than I guess probably anyone out here. But Cantlay and Xander have just been another level this week. I think Xander's probably done a little more of the heavy lifting, but by no means has it been like a solo carry. And they've just looked great.
I'll say this: why I like Cantlay, because he's not a pampered fuck. Okay, and guys that aren't pampered fucks tend to kill it at head to head. I would definitely like him there. And for that same reason, if we've already said that Cantlay's playing great this week and kind of has a killer instinct, don't you kind of feel like Xander's been that guy here too?
I think Xander is the guy here. I think Xander is probably my favorite captain. I think if anyone's going to come out and just absolutely smack that down and win 6-5, it's going to be Xander.
Let me give you this argument. Xander and Connors are probably pretty comparable players when it comes, I don't want to say tee to green, but at least at ball striking, right? But when it gets on the greens, Xander is probably 10 times better putter than Connors is.
I think Xander is probably miles ahead in a few different categories. I think probably around the green, he's probably significantly,
that's why I said
better
that's
than
why
Connors.
that's why I said ball striking and not tee to green.
Yeah, I think there's quite a few places that Xander's just going to crush, and Connors has been pretty shaky, honestly, all week. Xander is probably going to be my highest on captain.
Gotcha. Thomas and Kim. You said, wait, is this Siwoo or is this Tom?
That's Siwoo.
Okay. Yeah, well, man, that Max Homa Tom Kim match will be fun then. Okay, Thomas.
Don't get me started.
Thomas and Siwoo. Who you got?
JT. JT has got a game that just looks so good out here in match play. He can just hit shots that other dudes can't. And like Siwoo Kim can get hot, don't get me wrong, but he's also erratic and he'll lose holes that he should have. I would just take JT and over Siwoo. Like,
we're not gonna pick. Hey, new guy, welcome you, motherfucker. Go like and subscribe. We're not gonna pick Americans on every fucking one. I'm just saying, like, the top Americans are playing really well. So if they're playing inferior opponents and they're all playing well, we'd be a fool to pick against who we think's gonna win. And I
said Munoz right off the bat over Chefler.
You're taking Munoz over Chefler for a millionaire maker ticket. That's what I just heard you say.
Well, I didn't say
there
that.
There it is. See, he's coming down quick, everybody.
But when I'm building rosters, I will have more Munoz than Chefler in my flex. How's that?
Yeah, but that's just the price difference. I mean, the fact that he's 2.5 times more expensive than him, there's no way he's 2.5 times more likely to beat him. So he just makes a lot more lineups work. All right, you sounded pretty excited. First of all, I think this one has special meaning to you, right? This Max Homa versus Tom Kim. You're pretty live to win the $100K and the $20, right? You're in
I've got
you basically got the third lineup, right?
Exactly. Yeah, there's a train of a handful. I think there's 9 lineups in first, and then there's 3 people in tied for 10th, and then there's a train of us in 14th.
How many are in your train?
I think it is 12 or 11. I have to go back and check.
Okay. So it'll still be a real nice pay.
But
it'll still be a real nice payday.
Yep. So
and the big thing is you have Tom Kim as your captain, and you don't have Max Homa, and they all have Max Homa in the flex. So if Tom Kim can beat Max Homa, you're like double dipping in awesomeness, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what I need to happen. I need Tom Kim to beat Max Homa for me to jump those lineups.
Because you're probably, 3v3, 4v4 versus the rest of them, right? You probably only are different in a couple spots.
Exactly. We have 3 exactly the same. We both have Spieth, but they have Spieth captain. I have Spieth flex. And then otherwise, it's just I have Cantlay, they have Homa, and then I have Tom Kim and my captain. They have Tom
Kim for all the money. Hey, I got to tell you, if there's one up-and-coming star that I want, give me Tom Kim. Plus, he's got a little bit of alligator blood in him. I kind of dig the cut of his jib, John.
Did you see him close out today for the internationals and like fire up everyone, like running around, fist bumping, running up? And,
I saw some shit on Twitter about it, but I was knee deep sweating college football. Sorry, man. I got my days that are my designated time. Saturday afternoon is college football time.
That's fair, but yeah. So homeboy looked legit, and day one he's out there firing up the crowd. So you love to see that. And so I'm sick to my stomach to cheer against Max Homa.
Are we both going Tom Kim here?
I mean, if I had to tell you who I was putting money on, it'd be Max Homa, and I'm probably going to go lay a chunk on Max Homa to be a
hedge. Call that hedge. That hedge life.
But no, I think if I were to bet someone in this matchup, it would be Max Homa.
Well, I'm not going to bet every fucking American, so give me Tom Kim.
I think that's totally fine. I think Tom Kim's absolutely live, and I'll be cheering my brains out for him.
Sam Burns Hideki Matsuyama. Two guys who have both been hot dog shit this week.
Decky. I'm going to take Decky. Burns hasn't been great. I've seen obviously this is very like small sample size, but I've watched Decky play a few holes and he actually looked pretty solid. He threw a couple darts that looked like former Decky. So yeah, if nothing's wrong with Decky, he looks like he's out here in good form. So
Sam Burns has kind of turned into one of those like good Sam or bad Sam type guys, and it just seems like a bad Sam week. And it was like he's one of those guys when he doesn't have it, like I just kind of just bet against him, and it typically works. So for that same reason, I think I'll go Decky with you. Finau Pendrith, who do we like in here?
I think Tony's the pretty easy choice there.
Okay, why are you besmirching the greatest golfer in the world for the last 4 months, Taylor Pendrith?
I mean, I love Taylor Pendrith, don't get me wrong, and it's pretty awesome to see people out here in like Canadian flag gear and shit cheering him on, him and Coco. But I think Tony's been playing really well, and I think he's just a significantly better golfer.
I agree. I will go. Okay, so basically everything we're saying is going to be wrong because we've agreed on 7 of the 8 matches so far. Literally the only one we didn't agree on was you just being rambunctious with Munoz. Okay. Morikawa and Mito Pereira. Who you got?
Yeah, I think this one could go either way. So in DFS, I'll probably be getting to Mito quite a bit.
This is concerning. This is concerning. Literally every time I'm like, all right, finally we'll be different. You say the fucking guy I say.
Yeah, I think I'll get to Mito a fair amount in DFS. In terms of like straight up, who do I think would probably win? I mean, if you played it 10 times, I'm guessing Cal would win 7 of them. But in DFS, I'll get to Mito more.
All right, I feel that. I will be playing Mito more.
And the other reason I'm going to get to Mito more is I think this could be a closer matchup. And the matchups that are close, you probably don't want too much of. Like, you aren't going to score as well in a close matchup.
That's a great point.
You
want the
blowouts.
Yeah, you want all your matches to be 4-3, 3-2. You don't want any 1-ups or ties or any of that nonsense.
Because you lose 0.75 points when you lose a hole.
Yep.
You get 0.75 for having a hole, but you get 1.5 for winning a hole. So you really need to be winning holes, but you get 1.6 for not playing a hole.
Yeah.
So ideally, you don't play holes.
Yeah.
So just. You want guys that are blowing people out. And so if there's going to be a close matchup, it's probably where I want to get away from, or I want to be playing the salary saving option in that matchup.
All right. Spieth versus Davis.
Whoa. This is one I actually like Cam Davis, and Spieth's been, I think, getting carried by JT to a large degree. He's thrown a few nice shots, but he's been a little all over the place off the tee. Cam Davis has been bombing it as Cam Davis does. And I'll take Cam Davis in that matchup.
I'm going Cam Davis too. You're pissing me off right now. That's what you're really doing.
You should let me pick first.
Jordan Spieth is, I mean, God, I need him to lose so bad so you know he's going to win. So you know what? I'm going Jordan Spieth. I'm going to do the reverse mush, okay, because I really need him to fuck off to try to salvage my week at week long because I just didn't play Spieth at captain at all. And so far he's kind of been the nuts play because he let you get access to so many of the other good Americans if you played him at captain. I played him, but only in the flex. It was a
him playing 5
decision. Yeah,
crazy.
It hurt. I didn't think he would. I really didn't think he would. And I thought I knew he'd be owned because he's Spieth, and he was the lowest owned guy that was a legitimate shot for 5. So I knew. Do
you think if they had lost their matchups, him and JT, because they were boat race everyone, if they had lost, do you think he would have gotten broken up and switched out?
Yeah, or they. Oh, I mean, that's what I think they would have called it. We're gonna rest you guys, is what they would have called it.
Okay.
That's what
you don't think JT wouldn't have played with someone else? They both would have sat down.
Probably, because I mean, especially once they got out of that hot start, they were like the it couple. I think it's a bad look if you let one of them play and not the other. You just call it rest. You don't call it, hey, you suck. JT's carrying you. You don't do that.
So, but even if they had lost their very first matchup,
yeah, I think if they would have lost any of them, I think that they rest them Saturday afternoon.
Okay, but not break them up. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. All right. I think this is the last match. Yeah, last match. Sung J M versus Cam Young.
I'll take Cam Young in that one. I know he's the dog, but I'll take Cam.
Give me all the Sung J. That's probably my favorite one. You're gonna have to run. I think you're gonna want to have some internationals, not just because I don't think America's gonna win 12-0 tomorrow. That's a brave call, but more I just think internationals will be inherently lower owned tomorrow. That's what I'm guessing. We have no historical data to base this off of. I'm projecting, but that's what I'm projecting.
Yeah, I haven't built lineups yet, but I would be surprised. I'm guessing you can probably fit in at least 5 Americans, if not 6 Americans. So, especially if you captain Spieth.
Yeah. Is tomorrow a good day to play cash? in this format? Assuming they have double ups and 50-50s. I haven't even fucking looked.
Maybe just because people may make the fundamental error of playing dudes that play against each other, which I think is almost assuredly, it's got to be wrong in cash. Occasionally in MMA, it's not wrong because you want the two dudes that are in a 5-round fight, they can just get their own volume alone, but you don't really have that consideration here. So I think in cash, you're just getting 6 winners. I don't know this. I won't be playing cash because I'm a GPP mindset in almost everything I do, where I'm trying to get different while still having ceiling. So I probably won't play cash, but I guess it's probably pretty good because people may make mistakes and just jam dudes that play against each other like dumbasses.
All right, so remember the rules, guys. You got to have your captain be the guy that you think is going to smash that ass the most. You want him to win by a country mile because you're going to get that extra 1.5 points. Second of all, do not play guys that play each other. And third of all, I would not play all 6 from one side. I mean, I guess 6 Americans could win, but I just don't think that that's probably the most likely thing. You got any rules you want him to follow, John, before we go?
I think that's a good one and I would just pick at least 1 or 2 dogs. I wouldn't pick 6 favorites. If you even can fit 6 favorites in your build, I probably wouldn't do 6 favorites just because that's going to be, to the extent you can only probably build 3 or 4 different 6 favorite lineups, or if you can build any of them, I haven't looked yet. But those all favorite lineups will be the most highly owned. So in trying to win a GPP and take down your thing and not split it a bunch of ways, it looks like maybe I'll have a chance to hopefully knock on wood, split it a bunch of ways. But yeah, you want to give yourself a chance to win it unique. So you're going to need to mix in, I would say, 1 or 2 dogs. I think I'll probably be doing 2 dogs. Will probably be my build ideally.
Hey, new guy, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for staying here this long. Just so you know, we do a big drawing every Wednesday for the live stream. Week-long golf is back next week, you motherfather. Normal, full-field golf. And I will be here for the emergency stream at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time Zone. I'll have a big wheel that you can make a ticket with me. All you got to do to get in that is go leave a comment on this video and simply tell me who is the one matchup you like the most tomorrow. Put that in the comments. That's all you got to do, and you will be in my drawing Wednesday night. Also, go like and retweet this shit over on Twitter. I'll put another one in there for you. You can always come check out my Patreon, which is connected to the Discord. We're almost to 300 members. Come help the man grow. I appreciate you motherfathers being here. I hope you kick ass tomorrow, whether it's in Showdown or it's in Week Long. I hope you enjoy my badass Showdown Hoedown outro.